Prem se bolo Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Siddharam, everybody. Let's enter into prayer whilst members, devotees are joining. Our second night of Gyaan, Yagna, as we celebrate our Navratri. Let's pray together a little bit and then we'll move forward with our discourse and conversation tonight. Om Gajananam Bhutaganadi Sevitam Kapet Jambu Palachar Bhakshitam Uma Sutam Sho Kavinashkarakam Namami Viganeshwara Padapankajam Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Tonight, as we continue in prayer, we're going to do from the Rig Veda, the Hiranya Garbha Stotra. Suktam, sorry. Say your prayers. Hiranya Garbha Samavartatagre Bhutasya Jataha Patare Kasit Saradhara Prithvim Dhyamutemam Kashma Devaya Havisha Vedamaha. With your eyes closed, thinking of God, please listen to the meaning. In the beginning arose somebody something, I'm using that word somebody something, called Hiranya Garbha. Till one Lord, the one Lord that created everything, He established and supports this earth, heaven. What God should I bow to? What God should I make oblations to other than Him? Ya Atma da balada yasya Vishwa upasate prashishyam yashva devaha yashya chaya amritam yashva mrityo kashma deva havisha vedamaha. Give off the vital breath, give off power, give off vigor. He whose teachings all the devatas acknowledge, the Lord of death, whose shades whose shade is immortality, who color his skin. What God should I adore? What oblations? Who should I make offerings to other than Him? Hari Om Yam Krandasya Bhasya Tasya Bhani Abhye Chetam Manasare Jamani Yatra Di Surya Uditto Vaibhati Kashmadeva Havisha Vedamaha. To Him, supported by His help, battles, two armies battle, look while trembling in their spirit, when over them the rising sun is shining. Because He, supported by all His workers, the creation is allowed. And in different ways, things are happening all simultaneous. This rising of the sun, people fighting on the battlefield, grass growing on the ground, etc. All of it is controlled by Him. Who else should I adore? Om Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kapalini Durga Shama Shiva Datri Swaha Swadha Namostute. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Let me say cordial welcome to each and every one of you viewing as we are doing live virtual Devi Yagna, Gyaan Yagna, coming from the Sri Krishna Seva Ashram here in Trinidad, Princess Tong in particular. My name is Pandit Keshava Gosine, and we started last night a 3 nights discussion about Devi. In particular, the word Prakriti came up last night. And in it, we started to hear about this mother. Because there is, as we may say, I mean, if you are fear, in your phone, you are bombarded by all forms of social media, messages, those who have the books, those who have read, those who have pictures, murtis in their home, they would know mother in her various forms. And in this time of Navratri, as we are growing in our knowledge, we must remember in MahaPuran, MahaPuran states that one of the features of Kali Yuga is ignorance. And we hear of this ignorance in various Navratri discourse, where in the Katha, where mother is facing the demon called Durgam. Where does Durga get her name, or what does that name Durga mean? For the child listening tonight, that name comes from the person. She is called Durga because she destroys a person by the name of Durgam. And when in that katha, you would hear Durgam wanted to corrupt. How does he win the people? How does he destroy godly people or God-fearing people? He distracts them and he pushes misinformation. He pushes mistaken information, how to do it wrong. And the people not confident in their knowledge, not practicing as they should, they don't know it like that. When somebody speaks and they claim they know what they're saying, people who may not have the endeavor to push and learn and verify and do the research, they would take what they hear and go with it. And in that time, it caused trouble because what they were practicing is not the correct thing. What they were saying based on what they hear is not the correct thing. So when they did go to God, they were doing incorrect things and it did not work the way they wanted to work. At the end of the day, if you're a baker and I'm mixing the cake batter and I, instead of putting baking powder or baking soda, I put red sand, I have put in, I lifted my hand, I put stuff. So arguably, I am doing a lot of work. I am mixing, I am, sweating a lot. I'm doing work. But because I'm not following the recipe, am I going to get the same outcome? Like if somebody, if prayer, if Mommy Baba sat down next to me and she's mixing cake and she put the baking powder, but I put red sand in mine. Do you think we will get the same outcome? Likewise, in life, God is there. But some people know how to pray. Some people know how to pronounce mantra. Some people know how to go with modesty, dress for prayers. Some people know how to offer themselves, humility at a minimum. And then there are people who do not have that. In this life, let's use the example of Lord Shiva's puja. We have Sri Ram on one side, we have Ravan on the other side. Both worship Lord Shiva, but both have different outlooks of what they do when he gives you grace, when he gives you blessings, what to do with that grace. In this way, in this life, we are living in a time where it seems misinformation. Yes, we have the internet. Yes, everybody is in touch. I could be messaging somebody here now that is in Varanasi. Because of medium like this, we are in contact as if you are here in the ashram and I'm speaking to you one-on-one in your phone and your device, in your house or in your place of work. There is good. But suppose, just suppose, as it is Kali Yuga, somebody wanted to propagate misinformation. Just consider what I'm saying. It wouldn't be hard to do to corrupt people. It wouldn't be hard to do to confuse people, younger people. I hear this one say this, I hear that one say that, and I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to do. For this reason, whenever for myself, I don't know about anybody else, I can talk for myself. Whenever I'm given this course, I tend to say where I'm reading, what it is. If you wish, if you have that interest and that eagerness to understand and verify what is Keshava talking about, this man always, go and read it. Go and look for it. I don't say, and you can verify this, I don't say this is only for the pundit. Honestly, I believe trouble comes for everybody. So if the medicine, the healing herbs are here and visible and available, then I believe whether you ask through the guru, the person who may break it down in a way that a child, an adult, a person who may not know the language, the person who may not be very, associated with all the innards of our text, in an example like baking a cake, or in the example of how you live your life, so that you could walk away with the knowledge. Do it, but get into it. Search for the knowledge. Tonight, we continue on that pathway. Last night, we talked about the 5 forms that imagine from the energy Prakriti created. We went through what the name Prakriti mean and who are these main forms. And tonight, we continue on that, because and you will understand it after listening to last night's discourse, when somebody says, oh, I only love this form and I only love that form, and I have a prejudice against that form, I only like this form, my God is better than your God, then you realize how confused we sound. Because at the very beginning tonight, I want to ask you, and with all love and respect, if you're a Muslim looking at me, if you're a Christian looking at me, if you are whatever faith, if you're outside the Hindu circle or the Sanatanist circle, when somebody says, my God is better than your God, because I've heard it many times, I want you to ask yourself tonight, because we're spending a little time together, if my God is omnipresent, if my God is everything, if my God made everything, is there something that my God did not make? When we bicker about my God, your God, God's people, in other religions you hear that, God's people, God's chosen flock, God's chosen children, and all children, God's children. Didn't God make everybody? Good, bad, and ugly. Poor, rich, fat, dark, you name it. Heterosexual, homosexual, didn't God make everybody? Didn't God make everybody? But it is apparent that in the Hindu explanation, we have forgotten the history of our Dharma, the history of our books, the history of the scope of Hinduism. Instead, we are being educated by people who have read our books and now want to give back that knowledge to us. Pandit, what are you talking about? Okay, they will use it in examples. I remember when I was small and growing up, Karaha in Trinidad is where you basically make turmeric tea or saffron tea. And anytime, children riding bike or you're playing cricket and you get a lash, my grandmother, she was an ardent supporter of drinking this type of tea to help your body heal. Or bush medicine, stupidness, as you would hear. Now, everybody in America, everybody in Western world, Canada, no different. Turmeric tea. Now it's the popular thing. Ginger shot. When we go in India and you see everybody using adrak and they are mixing ginger in every takari. What are they doing that for? Now ginger shot, you have You have problems, immuno problems, you get any cold too often, take a shot of ginger juice and you'll be good once a week. Careful, don't take too much, stomach problem, acid, burning. Why is ginger so important in our prasad? Because of the health potency, because of this lady, the spices, the heat in it. And in this example, people are taking the Ayurvedic knowledge of the herbs that mother sits in the plants and she heals you, she helps you. Dubgrass will help your stomach. In dubgrass, you go in a lab and you mash it up and you take the juice and you dry it, you'll get something to the effect of the main ingredient in Tums, Alka-Seltzer, Andrews. Okay, you take Neem herbal health. You take what we call Ribena in Trinidad, we call it Gulab Jamun, like a black grape or Ribena health. Helping your vitamin C potency so that you become resistant against sickness. Mother sits in the plant and her energy is shared in the healing form. The person is helped because of this. So we use these herbs in offering, in puja, etc. Hibiscus is somebody says, why do we have this big fuss about the arahu or hibiscus flowers? You go Egypt, you go in the Middle East and you find out what is hibiscus tea. Why they fuss about this tea? Because of the health potency of what in Trinidad we call sorrel. In other parts, they use the hibiscus itself to make tea. Now, in Western world, take hibiscus tea, mix together with your clove and your hardy, and you will be able to rise above the sickness that is going around, seasonal sickness. It's there. Then you see the rising popularity of yoga ashrams. Patanjali speaks about yoga, but they take yoga to become a part and parcel of exercise. They go, they see the books, they hear of the teachings, downward dog, they rename they're not using the asanas, they're not using the mudras, they put their own versions, their own names to it, and they take it, repackage it, they take away the other parts of the yoga, because yoga by itself is not alone, it's the practice of fasting and other aims, different things that we use to control and grow the person. But on one aspect, go to the gym, go to a class, go to a yoga studio, and follow now. We have a yoga, I go to yoga. And the Hindu sees it. It is being repackaged, redeveloped, halfway. You are not taught the science, the art of, okay, I go to a yoga class. If somebody says, you go to yoga, what do you go to yoga for? Well, Pandit, I have sciatica. Pandit, I have a strained back. Pandit, I have a pain. So I go there and using the different stretches and these methods, I come out feeling very good. Wonderful, wonderful. One day we'll do Yagna, dealing with yoga and Patanjali's teachings and other great writers. And when we hear about the different purpose of yoga, why are you folding your foot? What is the logic of the stretching? How do you prepare yourself to do what? To help the soul upgrade. Then you realize, but wait, when I go to a yoga studio and I do that, it is really just stretches. From a Jiva Atma perspective, there is no development. There is no growth spiritually. And this is a spiritual practice. In a different way, you will, between tonight and tomorrow night, we'll discuss things like the multiverse. Yeah. When you hear, for example, like Iron Man and all these other shows, Spider-Man, and you're hearing people talk about multiverse. If I went to this universe and I went to that universe, and there's a version of Iron Man for children watching, a version of Iron Man, a version of Spider-Man, a difference. Where is that coming from? Where it is not from the Bible or the Quran, it is not dealing with, it is not dealt with in anybody else's text, but in Hindu texts. As you will hear in this Yagna, Hindu concepts read by authors and writers, and they're using it for inspiration. We heard about inspiration last night. And the idea, the concept of the creation, is being repackaged now in, entertaining, very, not to say they're honing the god of it, but they're using it and they're putting it in a display, in a theater poetic type of thing, in a act, and we accept it. But did you know that is part of your Sanatan Dharma, as you will hear tonight and tomorrow night? For those people my age who grew up knowing about the Matrix, when Matrix the movie was finishing and you heard at the end Asatoma Sadgamaya, and you wanted to know, well, how come them saying Hindu prayers? Because they were using Hindu thoughts and theories and giving it back to you. When Oppenheimer creates the atomic bomb and the first atomic bomb goes off, what does he say? Historically very popular, I have become the Hindu god Shiva, god of destruction, destructor of worlds. Stanley, the man who creates Spider-Man, in one of his writings, he has, I forgot the man's name, Lord, forgive me, everybody. The Silver Surfer's boss, the destroyer of worlds, consumer of worlds, this huge form that goes around the cosmos, absorbing worlds. We have a name for somebody like that called Shiva. But when we are, and this is the thing, I'm only saying this to bring your attention to what is in front of you. You are bombarded by these things. I am not making the movies. I am not putting these things, the contents, in the books, in the memes, in the videos that your children are seeing. But these things are there. And it may confuse children when they don't know the truth of their dharma. So my initiative is this. I would like to talk more than just this form. Navratri. Agreed? Navratri is Durga Mata took form, as I said last night, a memorial of this battle. That is true, I'm not fighting her. But I'm showing what is Prakriti, what is this, and beyond. How does she manifest in your life? How does she, last night we spoke in a way, in a sense, very small in your being, in your body, in your life, around you. Last night we spoke about how is it somebody has this ability to make people laugh. Humor comes from Radharani. For example, just to remind you to throw out 1 or 2 points if you missed last night's discourse. What makes a person gifted? Oh, he's gifted, he could sing. Oh, she's gifted, they never went to school anywhere, but she had the innate ability to sing bhajan, and everybody loves to hear her sing. These gifts come from where? When we say, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Durga Rupena Samsita, this is Durga, Mother, you are Durga. But then Mother is more than that. She is the one who is intelligence. She is Anga. She is this, she is that, she's the other. Tonight, as we get ready to go into our discourse, I want you to pay attention that there's an explanation for even bad. Pandit, it seems as if people who are cheaters, people who are robbers, it seems as if they are elevating, they are going up. And righteousness, we had to work hard. But people who cheat, steal, rob, kill, plunder, murder, rape, those people seem to be striving. Sometimes your concept of God is very limited. Tonight, these 3 nights we are spending together is to truly give you Gyaan, to rob you of ignorance, to understand the bigger picture. Tonight we'll go into this bigger picture as we understand a little bit now outside our body. Last time we spoke a lot about our body, the things that make you who you are, the things that make you have the sensations, the feelings, hunger, thirst, etc. The Prakriti. Tonight we go forward. But as we are wrapping up the chapter, in order to understand where we are going, we're on verse 59 and wrapping up chapter 1 of book 9, Devi Bhagwat. Narad Muni is speaking to Lord Vishnu as we continue, and I want you to follow along. For those people that ask, Pandit, is it okay to make notes? Of course. I'm reading this for you to learn. We are not playing. We don't have time to mama guy. We have to learn in order for you to understand and grow in your in your mother. Grow in your knowledge. Please, if you feel the need to make notes, write down, because there are going to be some things we need to remember. It is a lot. Narad Muni is talking to Lord Vishnu, and he says, "O Narad, I have described to you the 5 higher, the upper Prakriti. From the main Mool Prakriti, the energy came Durga, Radha, Saraswati, Lakshmi, Savitri. We talked about that last night. Now I'm going to tell you how from those 5 she separated into other forms to give, different aspects, help, guidance, etc. Now I'm going to run through this part because this is a lot. These are different incarnations, aspects of the Devi. Because we are building up to something called Shakti. What is Shakti? If I ask you tonight, you're a Hindu, I hear people say that person catching Shakti. Correct me? And as a child, listening to that, I thought Shakti was a virus. That when you go wrong a person and you get the cold, you could go wrong somebody and you pull it in through your nostrils and you get Shakti too. So you're afraid now to go in a place where somebody catching Shakti because brother, it on he and that go jump on me just now. That fear is there because I don't understand what is happening. So, in our conversation, follow me, work with me. Again, if you need to make notes, make your notes. For those of you looking on live, again, if you came in late, welcome. We're getting ready to go. Please send me your questions, send me your comments, let me know where you're from. Welcome again. Like and share. I need this video to share. There are plenty of people who will benefit from this. Let's go. He says, Mother now from the main 5 Prakriti, Mool Prakriti, came down to 5 forms. From those 5 forms, started to separate, subdivide. There is one called the Ganga, making up the Ganges. She was the one that flowed from initially, before she, remember, we know a story where she comes in the jata of Lord Shiva. But before he drank the halal poison, there was no Ganga in his hair. Where she was before, she comes from the toenail of Mahavishnu. This fluid form, she's eternal. And she burns like fire. Burns away what? This is the form of the Devi or the Prakriti that burns away the sin of the sinner. She is sweet, cool to touch. The person drinks her and gains liberation by drink, by touch, by arti, by pilgrimage, etc. People go there to do different type of tapasya, different type of offerings, puja, etc. offered into her, and she accepts all and blessed with mukti, the person who is able to do it. Tulsi Devi, the Tulsi plant, she is a form of the Prakriti. She is an ornament of Sri Hari Vishnu, dwells always at the feet of Lord Vishnu. By her, people use her and utilize her to do all forms of austerity, sankalp, and in her flower, in her sticks, in her root, lie an offering that brings about great amount of merit, punya. When people use the Tulsi plant, they gain what? Nirvana. They are able to find happiness, peacefulness. When they offer the sticks in the funeral service, the sinner is able to get upliftment just by her touch. For this reason, the person plants the Tulsi by their home and they pray that she spreads, showing that the home is positive, mother is happy. In this age, there is nothing in Kali Yuga that burns sin like the Tulsi plant. This Tirat, people walk around the Tulsi plant to purify themselves. The person who bows to the Tulsi plant gains blessings, purification, etc. She bestows moksha, liberation, by touching her. Those people that pray gain that blessing. This Tulsi is a main form of the Mool Prakriti. She is another form of this divine Devi manifested now to give what? To give the blessing, the energy, the ability for your soul to get upliftment. There is another form called Manas Devi. Manas Devi is the daughter of Anant or Sheshnag. She became very beautiful. She's the mother of the Nagas. She is the snake's lady. People worship her. People worship her to gain help, blessings. People worship her when, for example, you have in your birth chart Rahu and Ketu trouble, and here you have Kal Sarap Dosh. It have 12 type, depending on where or which house Rahu Ketu is, and you have different problem. Long story short, and they do Manas Devi Puja and Vrat. When you hear people do Sap Kal Sarap Puja or Nageshwari Puja, or Mother gives help in this form. People do her worship at different times. When you hear people do this type of prayer, different sometimes to the traditional prayer, but you have to get naked. You go in a secluded spot, and they would go and feed sap or snake, and they offer different things. They get different blessings. Still, this form is a form of the Mool Prakriti or that Devi. Does the knowledge of how to do her puja exist? Yes. Is it done sattvic as well as tamasic? Yes, it does. It is there. Then there is another form called Shakti Devi. She, another name, Dev Sena. She got married. She's one of the Sodas Matrika, the 16 mothers. She is the one who brings about children. She allows the mother to understand the child cry, what that cry mean. The baby can't say, "Mommy, I'm hungry, pick me up." But the mother says, "I have to pick up the child." And a certain amount of maturity, motherly instinct, maternal instinct, she comes and she turns on the milk making machinery in the lady, Shakti Devi. When her energy is ruling, you will hear in the 8th month of the pregnancy, bless the girl, let she go in, make the baby come out. Bless the baby to live. So when now the baby is born, on the 6th day, on the 12th day, it's in here 21st day, different puja for her is offered. What we do is 6 and 12 days in our culture. Worshipping mother, more or less in the 8th month before the baby born, mother, please let the child come. When the child born and settling down, mother, thank you in simple language for the birth. She protects children always with the mother's affection and gives the mother the heart to love in a way she never loved a child before. Then there is something called a Devi called Mangala Gauri or Mangala Chandika. This one is worshipped. This form of Devi is worshipped for the blessing. This is the form that Sita Mata worships when she sees Sri Ram. This Mangala meaning benefit. The Devi that gives the happiness, the benefit, the Mangalam. Mangalam Ganesha, Mangalam. Mangal. Greatness, auspiciousness, happiness. And the person prays for the relationship between man and woman to foster, to grow. So people do Mangala Gauri Brat from the time the wedding is set, the date, using Tuesdays going up to the wedding date, so that the fostering of understanding, communication, etc. could be clear and fostered, growing and bettering, so that the marriage takes. This Mangala Chandika is also there at the time of destruction. She causes giving of children, wealth, prosperity, but she is also the one that could take the wealth and prosperity. She is the one when a person realizes, let's just say you're going through a dry spell, you're going through hardship, you're going through some losses, and you want to know the business, the making money. I understand Lakshmi Mata Devi with me, as we just say, but then there's a time when the luster of the business, the money is not coming, sales is not coming, and this same Chandika will cause the energy to change. The person is not, the customer is not influenced. Come, buy. Now, there's another form, the 6th subdivision of the Mool Prakriti, Maheshwari Kali Mata. She is a destructive form that is created at the time for the destruction of things like Shumb and Nishumb. This part portion of Durga Mata, very fiery, very energetic. She is created for the purpose of bringing to a close different times in the sansar. She is utilized not only in this one instance, but she is utilized at different points. For example, when Lord Shiva is rushing at Sankachur in the battle that caused us to end up with the Sank, Kali Mata was there. There are many instances where she is taken form to do the work, to carry out the job of Mahadev, to carry out the job of Lord Vishnu. Who does she meditate on? Kali Mata, with the form where she's very black in complexion, is always contemplating on Krishna Bhagwan. Why? We'll hear about it just now. Who could destroy this Brahmanda or the cosmos with one breath? When she's initiated, when she's given the role to destroy, when she's told, this is your job, do your job, mother will activate. On the other side, when her children go to her and ask for dharma, arth, kam, moksha, when people pray to her for help, help could be for a sickly person, health problems. For a person that is financial, for a person that is, downtrodden, somebody harming you, somebody attacking you, and you go to mother for help, she will help. She's a giver as well. Kali, for this reason, is considered a portion of that Prakriti. The Devi called Vasundhara, the earth, is part of that Prakriti. She is the one who holds everybody. Everybody worships her. Why? She's the repository of all the grains. She holds all the gems, all the jewels. She bears everybody as a womb within her, and she gives life, and she gives everybody the support so that life can be maintained. And for this reason, whether it is moving or not moving, she is the form that everybody rests upon. For this reason, when a person is doing their puja, they always acknowledge, they always worship this Vasundhara or Dharti Mata, Prithvi Mata, Bhumi Mata, same person, Mother Earth. We worship the goddess in that form. There is no argument that mother is the earth. Oh Narad, no, there are other forms that came. The wife of Agni, Swaha Devi. Her job is to take what you have in the fire. She's attached only to Agni. There are some people, they hear people saying, you're going to sip the water, for example, Shri Keshava Nama Swaha, and this confuse people because these mantras are not the purpose is really not Swaha. Swaha and Swadha are the wives of the two-faced Agni, and they carry out their duty there. Prior to that, living in the house of their father, there was no job. They were just home. They did not aspire to have a job. It is only when they are given the husband, then they become empowered to do something. Another example, Dakshana Devi, Diksha Devi. Diksha again is when you're lifting your hand and you're blessing somebody. They are the Devi that are the wife of Yagya Dev. Yagya Dev, when we were doing the Bhagwat, I spoke a lot about that. The Devta of the Yagna. They are the two. One, the Dakshana, it is said that no Yajya, Puja, Vrat, you name it, is complete until some form of Dakshana is given. Dakshana could be fruits, it could be Seva, like Hanuman Baba bringing back Shani Dev to his father. That was the Dakshana for his training with his Guru. So when a person gives the gift, what is the blessing? Dakshana Devi, bless the person. Get through it what you're praying for. Diksha is the blessing when the person gains the happiness of the parent or the teacher, and they lift their hand. I really wish you to get through your exams. I really wish you to have a wonderful job. Diksha, let their words come to pass. That is a form of Devi that brings about the fruitification of the wishes or the prayers that the person is praying for. Let it bear fruit. Let it come to pass. Another form of this Devi is Swasti. Swasti Devi. Swasti, somebody lifts their Siddha. They give a gift to child. Say Swasti babe. Swasti. Swasti means with honor. She is the wife of Vayu, the air. Pushti, without Pushti, another form, the wife of Ganesh, nourishment. Without Pushti, women and men would become weaker and weaker. For this reason, mother takes the form called Pushti. In some texts, they will say Ridhi, Siddhi, same person, Pushti and Tushti. Pushti is the ability to eat something and your body gets nourishment. And you start to get protein, you start to get strength, you start to get muscles. A sick child could recover when they eat food. Think what I'm saying, drink water. And this Devi is sitting in the body with the ability for that to happen. Tushti, the person has satisfaction, contentment, is the wife. This one is the wife of Sheshnag or Anand. She is praised and worshipped everywhere in this world because without her, a person would not be able to achieve or find any form of happiness. Think about, grieving for a red mango. Or the other day I was showing rice cake on Facebook. Rice cake. I haven't eaten a dosti roti in a very long time. I'm waiting for pigeon peas to come in season, and the person get it. They have it. The moment he was grieving for it, and you get it. How you feel, nobody will understand, but you feel something when you're getting it in your mouth and you are enjoying what you were waiting for, or the child waiting to pass the exam and you are the parent and you're waiting for it. Ma, look, I got through the certificate. The satisfaction, your child, another example, your child don't have money, is a baby, 5 years old, went to school and make the most puhar Mother's Day card. But the love is apparent and inherent. And child come home and innocent, mad is for you, happy Mother's Day, ugly, misspelled, you know where you get. But that puhar card had more happiness, satisfaction than the best Hallmark card that a person could buy. In fact, tell me if I'm wrong, I could buy the Hallmark card and it would be without feeling, without any type of sensation. Tushti is the name Hindu gives to this Devi that explains that sentiment of satisfaction, of feeling full, feeling so happy and proud of your puhar kyad that tears might flow from your eye when you don't know what to do or what to say again. Years pass and you'll see the card in your hidden drawer and you pull out your card and you watch how your baby, now there's 21. But when my baby was 5, this is what my baby did, and the emotion, the sensation is still there. There are many examples you could imagine for contentment. Driti is another form. And if Driti was not formed, if mother did not take this wife of Kapil Dev, people in this world would never have patience. Man impatient, mother does have patience with the children of man. Grandmother does have patience. Where does it come from? I went to school to learn maths, English, how to drive. Who taught you to have patience? Who teaches a mother to have compassion and sympathy and understand? Because we live in a world with no patience. We live in a world where a girl could have her monthly cycle, she's going through the world, but she's pushed and punished to work and in the same way as if she's okay. You make a child come out to work the next day. You have a debt, come out to work the next day. Do it quick. No patience in different examples, no sympathy, because all work together. But then look at the person like the grandparent who has the world of patience. When the child ready to talk, the child will talk. When the child, that's my grandchild. When the child ready to pass the exam, they go pass. That to do it over, do it over. When the child ready to develop, I'll be here. That patience is personified by this form called Driti. Each one that I am discussing with you tonight has a full discourse, maybe a chapter, maybe. We could go into it and discuss one after the other. Pratishta Devi is another form. Celebrity. Pratishta, celebrity. Wife of Punya Dev, or the merit. She gives merit to persons who worship her. If it wasn't for her, people would be like a singer, lifeless. The performer. The ability to keep somebody watching you. So throughout this world, it have people who sing, nobody cares to hear you, but they're singing good. And then it have somebody go on stage and millions of people going crazy behind them. Pratishta. That energy that gives the person something, an allure, a hold, that cause people to become encapsulated, they become ensnared with their voice or their music or their dance, whatever it be. Think about the footballer and everybody admires him. People are crying when they see him. They want his sweaty jersey. They want anything with his name or her name or whatsoever. Because just as how it have male sportsmen, it have female sportspersons. Then Kirti, the wife of Sukarma, she gives her siddhas success. And she blessed people with honor, the ability to do the right thing, honorable. If it wasn't for her, people would be devoid of righteous acts, a conscience, as they say, and they would be ruled by unrighteousness. Then that same Mool Prakriti, listen to this one, takes a form called Mithya. Mithya is falsehood. She is the wife of Adharma, unrighteousness. She is honored greatly by those people who are cheats, the energy, because believe it, everybody needs God's blessings, even the bandit and unrighteous people. Think what I'm saying? They pray too, in different ways, but they pray that they must be successful in their endeavor. She pervades throughout this world where was she not liked by people? Was she not present by people who cheat, rob, steal, etc.? They would become extinct. They would have died off with Ravan. They would have died off with Kans. It would not have continued. If God is God, if everything comes to God, how is it that it have unrighteousness in the formula of creation? It have good, God made good, he's propagating good, but he also made bad. Follow? She is not seen in Satyug. She does not have a role to play. She does not have a foot in. The people are so straightforward, honest, righteous. They don't know her in Satyug. Falsehood is her name, Mithya. Her subtle form becomes like a ghost then. She's starting to take form, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, halfway developed, nearly full power. And then in Kali Yuga, she comes. She's fully developed, and there's no person, there's no description, there is nothing close to her. Mother takes other forms, bold confidence, shamelessness, people who do not know when to talk, when to not talk. For this reason, in part of our prayer, we practice things called Maunvrat, or the vow of silence. We practice not talking when certain prayers or mantras are being done. We practice control. There are some people where this Devi who causes talking too much. There is where the person is not in control and this negative force is taking over. These forms pervade, and in Kali Yuga, the same Prakriti in a different way is very predominant. And the unrighteousness, the deceitfulness is another form. Deceitfulness with her brother, the Mithya, her brother is deceitful. Deceitfulness incarnate, they go from house to house. There are different forms: peace, modesty, shame. These are the wives of good behavior, the energy of Mahavishnu in this form called good behavior. I'm using English just for the purpose of time. If they weren't present, throughout this world, people would become deluded and mad because there would be no peacefulness, there would be no limit to modesty. In fact, people would become naked, they would have no limit in sexual behavior, and all types of perversion, as we are seeing now, would become rampant. People would become shameless. Intelligence, the ability to be a genius. When you see, remember the show Doogie Howser, for people my age? Children that are born with super abilities, computate maths and program the fire stick and the controls and all the computer and all the phone and all the passwords and everything. the ability to understand and compute all these things, to make websites and all that. Fortitude. Some people have the ability to see it through, some people don't. Devi takes a form that gives you the energy to do it. They are the three wives of the Gyaan, the form of Mahavishnu, where he's in this form called knowledge. And he is supported, his job of spreading knowledge is supported by these three. If they did not take place, everybody would be insane. Everybody would be stupid or limited in their absence. So mother, it was imperative that mother took these forms to carry out these roles with the male counterpart, female counterpart. The form called Murti is the wife of Dharmdev. She is very beautiful and very charming. Were it not for her, Paramatma would have to stay in one place and he would not be able to do his job. He would not be able to stay in one place. Lord Vishnu is not able to rest in the ocean and watch the creation. No, Lord Shiva cannot stay stable. He has to move. For this reason, Murti is something that is stationary. Hint, one of the reasons why we call Murti, stationary form of God that lives in a place where a person can come and find God, giving that God the ability to stay. This Devi is created. She is respected, she's loved in different places. Her name is called Siddhyogini in the form of sleep. She's one of the consort of Rudra. Kal Agni, one that breaks up, destroyer of worlds, the one who consumes worlds. Remember, we talked about that in my introduction. The ability to sleep, Nidra, is one of her forms, where she puts down, she gives rest, healing to her children in various forms, various species, different locations. And all G, when you talk about, what does it say here in verse 118, chapter 1? All Jiv, when a person talks about deep sleep, REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, where does the Jiv go? He goes to spend the night with this mother called Nidra. She is holding and caring, caressing the children until she releases them to go back into the body to awake. The Jiv spends the night with her. Then Sandhya, night, day, three wives of Kal or time. Sandhya, twilight, not how you call it, dawn, midday, dusk. When it's neither forenoon or afternoon, midday. Those times become the wife. If it wasn't for them, then there would be no time measurement in this creation. Mother takes this form. So a person can understand the concept of morning, evening, what to be done, what is not to be done. Mother takes the form of hunger and thirst. These are the wives of Lobha. If they are supported, a person can control hunger, control thirst, regulate, sacrifice these forms so that they gain blessings. But when these forms are not in control, that hunger could be insatiable, an insatiable appetite. Thirst could lead you to drink and taste and look and run behind different forms of addiction. Splendor is the wife of Tej. Tej, the fire in this universe. Without this form, the universe could not be continuously recreating death, old age. Daughters of Kal, wife of Jwara, the disease, death and old age. They come together with the disease, Yamraj, and they bring an end to the life so that it can restart, it can carry on. What would this life be if it could not come to a close? Mother takes these forms so that the universe can cycle. Tandra or drowsiness, pretty satisfactions, are the wives of Sukha. They are present everywhere. Omuni, Shraddha, Bhakti, faith and devotion are the wives of Vairagyam. From these people, a person could become Jivan Mukh, while life within the body, they could gain benediction and blessing. There are many other forms. Some we know about in our text. For example, Mother took the form of Yashoda for the part she plays in the Krishna Lila. For this reason, in the village, listen, in the village, there are part of this Prakriti, usually in the female form. Everywhere in this universe, there's a small part and participle of this Prakriti. So do you remember a long time when we used to do Havan, you would hear Om Gram Dev Shanti. Gram is village, Hindi for village. And she sits there and she looks over the village, the people, their health. When people used to bhik mange, when they used to go begging, people like to criticize. And say when people used to do this collective puja, Panchauti Puja, it was only Kali Mai Puja. I want you to listen tonight how much more Prakriti is. When you label her Kali and Kali is bad, please understand how myopic your vision is. It had nothing to do with Kali because there are different forms. When you hear of Kalyani, you will hear of, I'll remember some many names just now. But the Chitralek, Prabhavati, Bhanumati, Mayavati, Renuka, etc. These were Devis that were established maybe by the junction of the village. When you're coming in, you'll see a little, if you go in there, you'll see it very prominent. You'll see a little murti maybe on that tree or something. And what people used to do, even in West Indian culture, they would walk the village, playing the drum, knocking the spoon and the lota, whatever they had, and they're singing Jai Ambe Maya, and they go house to house with their maybe a jewelry or the urni, and I would put a ponga dal, somebody would put a ponga google, maybe they'll put $2, some coins for the puja, and everybody contributes. They come together and they worship Gram Dev, village Devta, our Devta. Have you ever seen they put Jandi at the entrance to the street to your village? Why are they doing that? Mother, stand up here. Mother, remain here and protect everybody that lives here from sickness, from plundering, from stealing, etc. Mother is standing in the various places equally as a part of the Prakriti. So, this is where if a person insults any woman, it is an insult to the Prakriti. Just as a person, if they insulted Kalindi, if they insulted Satyavati, if they insulted Varuni, Kunti, what caused the problem in the Mahabharata war? They insulted Draupadi. This is where it is showing you are incurring the wrath of this lady. For this reason, if a person worships the woman, sometimes people talk about, and I'm reading verse 138 of chapter 1, book 9. When people talk about worship of women, they tend to have a different view. Some people, pundits could only be men. You could only bow to a pundit's foot. Why are you, for example, bowing to Mommy Baba, my wife? I'm using myself, not talking about nobody else. Why would you bow to the feet? There are many temples that are having Kanyakumari Puja. Why am I bowing to a little girl? I'm a big man. I have so and so amount of money. Why am I bowing to this little girl? Listen to verse 138. If a person worships the Guru's mother, or the Guru's wife, meaning the Guru Mai, who has her husband, son is living, happy lady is what they're trying to say there. You give them clothing, ornaments, different sandal for cosmetic purpose. One worships this individual as if they are the Prakriti. When you say the Devi, you are worshipping this individual. And again, the blessing as if you have worshipped the Prakriti. If a person worships a virgin young girl before the maturity, before puberty comes, giving gifts, ornaments, sandal pays, it is as if you are worshipping Prakriti there. And this best type of offering could bring about all forms of blessing. However, in doing these worship, it have best practice, mediocre or middle type practice, worst type of practice. Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic. Imagine I'm giving barfi, please accept this. Or I'm giving barfi that I chew half and I say, here, eat peas. Or I'll give you spoiled food, spoiled barfi, if there's such a thing. Or I'll give you something with a disdain attitude. Here, look that. The same thing could be done badly. For this reason, everything comes from this goddess in different forms. Even the hermaphrodites, forgive me, hermaphrodites are part of the Prakriti. For this, because there are many pundits, Mom Baba, watch me because I mispronounce that word. Many people are afraid to talk about these topics. But in our conversation, a hermaphrodite is a person that is born with the body of a female, but they might have the male organ of female and male. They are both. And it could be a woman looking like that, but she has the male organ as well. And that is God make. God make that. God touched that and created that. There's no argument over that. You see that in vegetation. Just recently I was talking about how the papaw plant can switch. And that is part of the Prakriti, part of the creation. This is the verse 144. And this is the grounds by which everything comes from the mother. For this reason, people who are homosexual, whichever sexuality, a person who is transgender, they are still part and parcel of mother's creation. There is nothing that there's God, good, and then they have bad people outside God. Tonight, God is everything and everybody. And for this reason, in Bhagavad Gita, it talks about don't practice prejudice. If God lives inside of everybody, based on what we are talking thus far, then truthfully, God lives inside of everybody. Throughout all the discourses, when, for example, there's Sati Devi, when there's Sita Mata, there are different instances where the establishment of the worship of the Prakriti is done. And this is supported further by Krishna Avatar when Devi Durga is worshipped predominant after his coming in terms of our text. But her worship was done together with him way before. So Narad, as I'm closing chapter 1, when from village to village, the Devta in the forest, the Devis in the cities, they are all worshipped. And based on what we have discussed here, the Prakriti and her parts are what gives the energy of different sensations that you and I enjoy. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Tonight, we go now into the second chapter, dealing with the origin of Prakriti and Purusha. Narad Muni says, now I want to understand more about this Prakriti. Let's hear what happens in this verse. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatmaya Namo Namah. Shrishta Radhya Shrishta Vidya Kathameva Varsha Bhavaha Katham Vai Panchame Bhuta Vada Veda Vediyambara. Narayanaya Krishnaya Paramatma Namo Namah. Shri Adi Shakti Mata Ki Jai. Now I want you to describe in detail, while Mool Prakriti, Adya Shakti, the prime force, was created in the first place. I understand you are saying from the Mool, from the main came 5, and then from the 5 come all where we know, Ganges and Tulsi and all these different forms. Kali and Kaushik and all the names that you know. But why was the Devi? This is the big question. Why was she created? What is that story? Please tell me, why was that done? How did she, being of the nature of the 3 gunas, subdivided into these different things? Please talk to me. Oh Prabhu, please give me that understanding. Sri Hari Vishnu says, O Dev Rishi, the Mool Prakriti, the nature of Maya, is eternal, Nitya Parat, just as the Atma or Param Atma is eternal, she is eternal. Time, the universal egg, Golok, Vaikunt, all these things. The Atma, the Param Atma, the Prakriti are inseparable. They are in union constantly. And because of their contact, matter is formed. With the two of them coming together, needed to follow me here because this is where some of the confusion is come. When the person who's following the Shakti way say my way is the better way, and the Vaishnavite say his way is the better way, and the Shivite and the different religions started bicker, we started to separate this world into different groups. Here we have here. We are now in chapter 2, book 9, verse 8, 9, somewhere there. He says, the goldsmith cannot make golden ornaments, earrings, chains, etc. without gold. The potter cannot make diyas and kalsas without earth. For the same way, the Paramatma cannot do work without the help of the omnipotent Prakriti. If we use the male, just the word male, in the universe, he cannot create without her energy to create things. In science, we talk about atomic energy, matter. Matter is where we have atoms sticking together. The cohesive bonds, the covalent and ionic bonds that hold molecules in structures, atoms in structure. Those are names for the energy that we are referring to, that mother is at work. The letter sh indicates Ashridam, or another word for prosperity, divine power. T. So imagine KTI. I can't pronounce that by itself. T denotes mighty, strength. For this reason, she's the bestower of the energy, the power, as well as prosperity. And for this reason, the mole Prakriti is called Shakti. What is Shakti? Shakti is an energy, divine energy, mole Prakriti, unformed. This is not Shakti, this is Durga. Shakti is more than this. This comes from Shakti. Shakti is the energy that brings about prosperity. Prosperity could be for a student, pass the exam, for a sick person, recover from the sickness, etc. Energy is the ability to finish the fasting, get through the job, plant out the garden, wash out the clothes, whatever the task is, bless me to be able to do it, walk up this flight of steps, etc. Be able to go through this divorce and come out on the other side to survive. Strength. She is that Shakti. Bhaga indicates knowledge, prosperity, wealth, fame. And the mole Prakriti has all these powers, so we call her, O Narad, Bhagavati. Bhagavati, the giver, the gifter of Bhaga. Or these different knowledge, prosperity, wealth, fame. Bhagavati Devi, we are listening to Devi Bhagwat Puran. The Bhagwat, the giver of that energy, that type of sensation that we are craving for. So we go to Devi Bhagwati, we go to Chandika Bhagwati, we go to Bhagwati Mata, and we ask for her intervention in my life. Please, I am going up for a medal. I want to win the marathon. Please allow me to be successful. Mother says, okay, no problem. You're going to win. The Paramatma is always in union with Bhagavati. For this reason, he is called Bhagwan, sometimes W. But the male that gives Bhaga is in constant relation. When Prakriti is calm, she is not in a physical form. When she is docile, when she is dormant, latent, she does not have a form. Let's say like the deer light. When she is manifest, what would they say? Manifestation. Manifest. Mother is in a physical form. So when somebody says manifestation happening, for those people that go to a temple and something is happening, manifestation may not be the correct word. Manifestation is when Krishna takes birth, Sri Ram takes birth, and what is invisible comes visible. The yogis always think of that formless Bhagwan and declare that he is the true holder and dispenser of bliss. Though he is invisible, he witnesses all. He is the hearer of all prayer. But what does the Vaishnavite, and I'm quoting verse 14 here, what does the Vaishnavite say? The Vaishnavite says, how could there be from nothing, when we hear of the Big Bang Theory, from nothing, bang, and creation started? There are some people that hold to that view in terms of the cosmos, the universe. For the people that are listening, the Big Bang is part of the Hindu creative. That is where we get Om. The Bang, Om, as the atoms collided and then created. Here now, it is saying that the Vaishnavite says, how could fire, strength, energy come when there is no fiery, strong, energetic individual or form behind it? Therefore, we believe that there is a form that manipulates this energy to create. Therefore, he who shines as on the center of this entire creative process, this person that is higher than high, he is the cause of everything. His body is blue. He shines as if he is the embodiment of rainy clouds. His two eyes defy the beauty of the autumn lotus. His body is very beautiful. He's dressed with peacock feathers on his crown. Garlands of malati flowers suspend on his neck. Beautiful nose, beautiful smile. He brings favor to his bhakt. He wears yellow clothing. This individual, that Sri Krishna Bhagwan, is the sole refuge of this universe. The Lord of all, omnipresent, no trace of deficiencies within him. He himself is the Purusha, or the male. He bestows Siddhi on everybody. He gives everything. This is what the Vaishnavite meditates on. And this is why he is called Devta of Devtas, Dev of Devs, Mahadev, greatest Dev, Krishna. He takes always fully all the fear of birth, old age, ill, sorrow. He takes away those things. He takes away in a twinkling of an eye. Krs, denotes the person who gives bhakti towards Krishna, and Na is the person who gives the blessing of, or the ability, or the motivation to do devotional works in his service. For this reason, Krishna, and calling the name Krishna, brings about a great amount of blessings. It brings about a great amount of upward movement. Again, KRS, Kr, denotes everything, and Na signifies the root of everything. So Krishna, he's the root of everything. He is the creator of all. And you understand where I'm going with this just now. The Lord who is all wills everything, divided himself. Follow, we're going back on last night's discourse. We are saying here in verse 26 that he is the person who is the root of everything. How you come to that, Pandit? When he desires, the very beginning of the universe is going to start, but he is there before it starts. When he is ready in his part to do creation, going on to verse 27, chapter 2, the Lord in all willed himself and separated himself into two. From his right side was him, Krishna, the male. From his left side came female, the eternal one, who, with great looks, female body parts, and the ability to hold love in a way that is different to man. The way a woman would understand and love, gently love and give love, share love. Let's say in the example of Parvati Mata feeding when Krishna is incarnating as Ganesh, Brahma Puran, Ganapati Khan, Krishna comes to Tessa, she wants a child, and he says, "Ma, I'm hungry." Parvati Mata starts to take out food, and he says, "Oh God, Ma, at the rate you're going to end up with a huge belly." She says, "Well, I am feeding you. I am your mother, because I'm feeding, taking out food. Let your belly swell with all the love that I have." And Krishna accepted it. It is this discourse that explains why Ganesh Baba, of all the devtas, has this huge belly. In the same way, this woman was beautiful, And it goes, her legs like these long plantain trees, her body, flowers all over her body, hair on the head, very, very slender, beautiful. And Krishna is looking at what he created. And between male and female, there came an attraction for each other. And male and female, after they danced in the Ras Mandal, with the Lord, in this amorous, in this copulating moment, sexual reproduction in this moment, the creation is going to happen in one day of Brahma's lifespan. The father and the mother of this universe remain together. And when mother separated herself from him within her womb, there was left a portion of the Purusha. The Prakriti Devi, tired from the embrace of Lord Krishna, after this period of time, pulled away, and from her body, perspiration from the contact of the Lord in this male form. Her breath was lost and she was gasping. Her perspiration turned into water and it spread throughout this universe. This water and her breath, the breath became the air, the different, gaseous forms that exist according to our text in different planets, in different places that we, yes, on the earth we breathe in, but on the moon there's a different atmosphere or lack of. In the Mars, in the Jupiter, science is learning now what we have written in our text for thousands of years that was there. Now science is saying we could see with telescopes and we could have probes, and we understand that this is the major contributor for that planet's surface. Those things were here. Here how? When mother was breathing out the different types of nitrogen, oxygen, different types of gaseous constituents for the different, not only planet, not only in this solar system or this cosmos, when you hear the word Brahmanda, but in the different cosmos, mother created the surface. Her body, when you hear Lord Vishnu is on the water, Sheshnag is on this water, in this surface, the space that was being formed, it came from her perspiration. This is the history of it as it is unfolding from her body. The mother now is given everything that is coming off of her is going to form the creation. It is time for the sansara to start turning, and it has been triggered because of the work of the Devi. The female that sprung from the left side of Vayu, the air that mother created, the air, became the wife, and out of them came Pranaya, Apanaya, Samanaya, Udhanaya, Vanaya, the 5 sons that were the vital vayu of the air. When a person burps, when a person passes gas, when a person breathes, the different air that is in your body. We use fancy words, but this is where it is coming, it is forming now. Besides those that came from the womb of Vayu's wife, from Nag came the different or the lower gas. The water of the perspiration, Varun Devata is formed. From his left side came Varunani. On this Devi, knowledge of Krishna. Remained pregnant. This Devi, this Shakti, the main Shakti that came from the body of Krishna, she remained pregnant for 100 manvantar. That's a long, long time. Her body became glowing as if the Brahmtej, the fire of Brahma is within her body. Something is growing. And Krishna was her life. She was very attached to him. The goddess, the Prakriti is hooked on to the Purusha. There's no creation. There's nothing. There's nothing yet. It is forming slowly, as in the Big Bang Theory. Atoms and molecules are forming. Things are happening, but time is passing. The time is passing. And she remains with him. She does not. For every pregnant person looking on at this video, think about how you get attached to your spouse or to the father of the child. The sensation that you're back hurting, he back hurting. You feeling upset, he feeling upset. Those type of things, that type of connectedness now existed between the male Purusha and the Prakriti of this universe. Mother remains on as a heavy force. She remains with her body, with this growing structure inside of her. She cannot move. There's nothing. Where will she go? There's no Leela to play. Lord Vishnu, Krishna is sitting and he's allowing, he's caring for her as she's fostering the growth of this. And after time, she gives birth to a golden egg. If you've ever in your reading, for those of you, I know there are some, better read about our Dharma. If you've ever heard of this egg, the egg in the creation, there's an egg. This is where the egg comes from. Mother makes the egg. The egg was the repository of the entire universe. The beloved of Krishna became so, what is this? Despondent and dejected at the sight of the egg. She did not feel happy. This is not what she expected. She expected to see the eyes of her baby. She expected to see her young. And out of anger, I'm reading verse 49. Out of anger, threw that egg within the water that had collected in the solar system, in the universe, in the different parts. In that water, she threw the egg. Seeing this, Krishna became very upset and he let out a scream and immediately pronounced a curse against the Prakriti. Oh, let's hear this verse. I want you to pray. Please, for those of you that believe in the goddess, that are practicing your vrat, listen tonight. I'm using this opportunity to give you the insight more than we sometimes sit down to talk about. And this is for you to walk away. For those young people that are listening, please listen to the truth of your Dharma, Sanatan Dharma. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Yato Yapi Patyam Tva Yukta Kopa Shilescha Nisheshure Bhavatwamya Napayapi Chadhya Prakriti. Jai Bole Baba Tab Sharanam. 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 Jai Samba Sada Shiva Tab Sharanam. Now it is time to play the Leela. Krishna says, "Oh, angry one." It is amazing how you see it in the world today, how a mother could hate. Whilst, yes, we talk about mother is first God, but in reality, in God's creation, it is possible for a mother to act in a way contrary to motherly behavior. It is possible for a lady to have postpartum depression. Maybe we did not know what we were facing in long ago, in times past. But in today's world, as people are talking and we are getting in contact with psychologists and clinical psychologists, maybe the knowledge is now being unraveled that it is possible, no fault of the mother, that hormonally things happen, mentally things happen, and a form of depression in simple language for children to understand. Please, I am not a psychologist, so if I get it wrong, forgive me. But bottom line, there's a repulsion, a hatred, different people, different thing towards their own young. I've seen when we were small and we had puppies, I've seen where a dog eat the young when the young died. The puppy died and the mother eat the young so that nobody could touch the young. In different species, it manifests in different ways. But here in your text, long before life is created, there is no human, there is no animal, there is no planet, not yet. Mother was repulsed by this egg, and Krishna, the father, says to her, "When you have forsaken out of anger the son that was just born to you, then you become from today, bereft of any further child. Besides, let all those godly women that will spring from your body also be deprived of issue, children, and they will remain in constant youth, everlasting, but never reproducing." This verse 51, 50, 51, chapter 2, book 9, is the explanation why we don't have Lakshmi Mata having a son, a grandson, Saraswati Mata Radha Devi, everybody. Why is it not there? O Muni, whilst Krishna was thus cursing, and suddenly came from his tongue the beautiful Saraswati came, the presiding deity of the Sastras, and when she formed, she was able to calm him down. From that Prakriti, that mother that is standing there that just received the shrap, she separates her body into two. On one side, Radhika, right hand side. Left hand side, Kamla. Krishna keeps Radha as his consort, but Lakshmi and Saraswati are given to respective as the division, as the creation is about to grow. You will go and be the consort of Vishnu. You will be the consort of. Firstly, Saraswati lived in Vaikunt. In different discourse, you hear why, and then she is given to Brahma to find peace. But because Lakshmi and Saraswati came from after that shrap was pronounced, such as Radha, there is no further children being born to them. Instead, from their body, in an asexual manner, they reproduce. They form what we might call in today's language, clone. It is said here, Lakshmi Mata is able to reproduce millions and millions of female attendants that act in different supportive roles to the male, Prakriti, to Purusha. Depending on the lila, depending on the activity, there is a lady to go together with the male form so that the work must be accomplished. For example, mother takes various forms to form the different gopis to go with the gopas that support Krishna. And in this way, many different devis were created. Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai. Let's hear what happens in this verse. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita Itasti Tarna Vipra Sahas Krishna Deva Avi Varsha Bhuva Durga Sa Vishnu Maya Santani Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita. Narad Muni says, Prabhu, what did you just say? Radha, Lakshmi, Saraswati, who come from who? I'm confused. He says, another name, what we know now, another name for Mool Prakriti is Durga. Durga is the main. She is the main light that separates into the five. And then from the five come the many different devis that enact the different leelas. Whilst Radha, Lakshmi, Saraswati are forms, avatar of that Durga or the Mool Prakriti, the main Devi, the main energy. Durga remains the pure. She is the other half of this creation. She is the mother of everything. She is considered to be the intelligence of Krishna. She works with him. She is Mool Prakriti. She is everything. She is called Ishwari, not failing, in no way insufficient. She is the Tej of everything. Her color is as if it is molten gold. It is as if her body is projecting millions of suns. She is gracious, her smile, her hands, thousands in numbers, various weapons in her hand, clothing that is very bright and reflective, decorated with various ornaments, jewels. All the women are the jewels that sprung from her body, part and part of her Maya. Mahamaya is she. All the people of this world are enchanted by her, and she bestows wealth, happiness in the household. She bestows she bestows upon the Krishna's devotee the devotion to Krishna. For this reason, she is called Vaishnavi Shakti, of the Vaishnav. The person, that soul is growing, their vision is growing, and they are working their way back. They are going back to that Paramatma. Paramatma is Krishna. They are working their way back. Devi Durga gives the person the knowledge, the ability. When a person says, Baba, I could fast for the 9 days without salt. I offer dar every day. I do puja every Navratri. You tell me where that discipline, where that time management, come home as a young Pandit when I was still in, I was in secondary school when I did my first puja, about form 4, 8th grade, 9th grade, somewhere there. And my mother used to buff, you're coming home, you want to go and do puja, you want to go satsang with Pandit and them, you want to learn. And before I was doing puja, before I had the Janu, I fell in love with Pandit Anand, and Pandit Anand lives in New York now, Pandit Krsna from Sisters Road, because they were explaining Gard Puran, Bhagwat Gita, everything. And I had the opportunity to learn how to fix for puja. Before I was the Pandit, I had the opportunity to sit in the satsang group and play dantal and drum before I became the Pandit on the Singhasan. And I fell in love with the message of our God, with our text. And what I learned from Mami was time management. You are not going to go to that satsang if you don't finish your homework at a simple level. You are not getting to go if you don't pass that exam. So it taught me, and this is where Durga gives the person the taxi to reach home in time, the passenger on the road, no traffic this evening, so that you could do what you have to do. She makes it easy. She makes it possible for you to reach the Krishna. If a person becomes blessed, if a person becomes grace, where does the grace come from? Do you do it? This is why in Bhagavad Gita it says, in Kali Yuga, the sinful person starts to think, I, not God, I. After we have discussed what is Prakriti and Purusha, and we are continuing, when the person says, I wanted to understand the confusion, or when the person says, I was able to make this amount of money, I have conquered this person's land, I won the court matter, I am the conqueror, I have done it. It have anything that God isn't doing, Durga in particular, who helping you, after all what we talked about last night and tonight, outside your body, inside your body, helping, fostering. What are you doing? Could you do something without she help? That is for you to answer. In this way, O Narad, she is the tapasya of the person who is praying. When you're doing the jap, when you're here, okay, hold the Rudraksh Mala on the middle finger and pull. But when you reach to the Sumiru, turn it around. You know what I'm talking about? Not on the index finger. The person who receives Diksha mantra from Diksha Guru, and he's telling you how to say Guru mantra mentally, not through the lips, not out aloud. There's a mode, there's a method to doing it. Follow it, and the blessings, the benefit, the protection, the energy, the tage that is coming from when you hone the mantras. That is Mother. The beauty of the home, the beauty of the kingdom, the burning power, the brilliance of the sun, the calmness of the moon, the ability of the moon to interfere with the waves in the water. In science today, we will say the moon come closer to the earth, so it looks big in the sky, and the magnetic forces that are affecting the water in the ocean, the water gets very turbulent. And the astrologer says, when the moon is transitioning and it is moving around you, the magnetic interferes with the fluid in your body, urine, blood, tears, and the person starts around full moon to act very crazy. Very disgusting attitude, anger, hyperactivity, child don't want to sleep, etc., etc. Same person when it's new moon and the moon moves away, calm behavior. We use that when we're planting in the study of agriculture. McDonald's, I forget the calendar. Plant your corn before the full moon. Plant your corn after the full moon. You'll see the difference. Plant above ground, below ground. The science of these things. This is Mother. Mother is in the plants. There's prayers, Sakambari Durga Puja, Sakambari Devi Puja. Check out January, I believe, somewhere 21st, 25th, somewhere there, next year. This prayer, you are going to go, no Lapsi and Zohari, none of that. No coconut, no. Take vegetables, tomatoes, your root crops, your tubers, your pumpkin. Put that by mother. Decorate her with different vegetables, leafy vegetables, ground vegetables. Mother will be happy. Oh, Narad, the ability for the flowers to smell sweet, that is the manifestation of this Shakti. Shakti is the name of the Mool Prakriti. When it is manifesting, when it is taking form, where is she taking form? In the sweet scent of the flowers, in the cooing of the baby, the cuteness of that child that brings about a certain emotion inside of you that they could be making the world a mess, the world a trouble, and you, oh God, look how nice, eh? Imagine what Yashoda Mata was going through when Krishna was breaking every pot in she house. When it's Janamashmi night and everybody reflecting on that katha, who is blinding Yashoda from being the disciplinarian and quarreling and beating and hitting? What is making her heart soft? That she has to feel so soft, and everybody who come to complain on Krishna, to use an example, where does this love come from? This maternal love is not my child, but I love this child. I want to give everything to this child. That is the Shakti manifesting. There are people that believe the manifestation of Shakti means that the person speaks in a different language and uses the human form as a vessel to take possession of the form, to convey a message, convey healing, help, and that I am not a good enough person for that step. I have not achieved that. So I cannot see. But Shakti and manifestation is not limited to those things. Shakti and manifestation is beyond that. When you see the rain falling, when prayers is going on, that is manifestation. That is where she goes from invisible to visible, where you see her, where the child was supposed to die and the child lives. In that moment of mercy, mother has manifested. That is the true Shakti taking place, where she's surrounding you, your day-to-day life, so much so that if this Shakti was not present in this world would have been full of dead, lifeless bodies, whether we are talking about the atmosphere, whether we are talking about the surface of the earth, whether we are talking about the plant life, the fauna, the flora, different things. Let's say like the surface of the moon. The moon is barren because of something like this. There are places where Devi says, I will not remain. I will not exist. And when she does not exist, there is no atmosphere, there is no life, there is no apparent element. The element cannot exist on the moon. Fire can't light, you can't light a fire on the moon. Water wouldn't stay in the river on the moon. It does not exist. So in your dharma, there's an explanation for the planet. And there's more to come. Tomorrow night we'll continue with this, where we go into the creation of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva from Devi Bhagwat perspective. She is the seed of all trees. She is the seed of light. She is the one, to recap Narad, intelligence. She brings fruits. She brings hunger, thirst, mercy, sleep, drowsiness, forgiveness, fortitude, peace, bashfulness. When the person blush, when the boy gives the girl a compliment and blush, that ability, that's mother. Nourishment in the body, contentment in the heart, the person to glow when they're pregnant, that luster, that is mother. And she is the person that is behind all these moments. It is from this lady, this Prakriti, that all these moments and energies and things that are happening. It is from this, that from the body of Radhika, when she's sitting on the throne next to Krishna, in the moment from the navel of Krishna comes Brahma. Savitri is his consort in this moment. No sooner Brahma started to chant benediction and blessings about Krishna, his greatness, his forming, etc. And as this is happening, from the forehead, from the body of Krishna, again he separates. On one side we have again Krishna, the right hand side, the cowherder, and on the left hand side, Mahadev is formed. Verse 82 of chapter 2, book 9, is the source of where Lord Shiva comes from. From the body of that one Krishna, the left hand side, Mahadev is formed. He's pure white like crystal, as if 100 suns had come and arisen in the moment. He has the Trishul, he has the Patisha, a spear. He's wearing tiger skin, his head in the Jata form, his body smeared with ash. He has a calm persona, smile, wearing all these things. The Gambara, the sky is his clothing. His neck is already blue. The serpent around his neck as ornament. And he has the Rudraksh on his hand. And who is always chanting the name of Krishna, was being chanted to praise Krishna. Mahadev in the five-headed form took form. In this way, all auspicious, good, favorable, destroyer of fear, birth, death, disease, who has the name Mrityunjay. Krishna refers to him in that form. Krishna refers to him as Mahadev, and he offers him a seat, and he tells him, never stop doing tapasya, never stop doing jap, never break from that meditation, never leave me. We are one and the same. Shri Vishnu Bhagwan ki Jai. Tonight, as I pause with my discourse, before we go forward, as Krishna is getting ready to create more and more, read up on what is your Big Bang Theory. Come prepared for tomorrow night, my university students. Read up on what is string theory in your physics, in your same movies that you're watching. When we are talking about in the show The Ant-Man, when we are going to sub-molecular studies, string theory in particular, something very hard, subatomic. How to prove these things is the problem, but the theories are based on Hindu thought. The vibration. You see it, you go to a temple and you see the person shaking, the same Shakti is manifested. The energy is coming, and it is so much that it causes vibration, sound energy. The particles are vibrating. In today's world, when we know what we know about matter, between states of matter, between physical, liquid, and gaseous, the atoms where the energy, let's say you heat ice. How does ice go from solid to liquid? The atoms start to vibrate until they separate, and it goes from physical, it melts now, liquid. You vibrate those atoms a little more, you're going to get gas, oxygen, whatsoever. The vibration thinking is there. But tonight, as we conclude, understand the correlation between Devi. The egg is formed. We don't know what that egg is. Remember that. We don't know what that egg is. We are continuing with this into tomorrow night. But it is something that we hear about a lot in yogic stories. The egg is created. Creation is this egg. Tonight, what I have done, I've shown you from Devi Bhagwat Katha where the egg came from. So this is where, if in our last night discourse it says Devi, the Prakriti, is there before creation, creation is the egg. She created the egg. They were there. They were established before the egg. When somebody says God is one, understand, where does she come from? She comes from the half of the body of Krishna. Understand how everything is coming back to one, and then from one come the many. It starts to spread. It starts to grow. The energy is reaching and growing. This is one of the beauties of Sanatana Dharma. As we will go into tomorrow night's discourse, think about what I am saying. What we are taught in other religion, 5,000, 2,000 years ago, God walked this face of the earth, the Son of God walked the earth, and, different teachings and so on came. But where was God in terms of the cosmos, the galaxies, the planets? Where was God prior to that? If there is no God, if there is no divinity prior to that, what explains all these different things? And I invite you to join me tomorrow night to listen why we have the universes, this concept of multiverse, the concept of what you are seeing. Your children are being bombarded by it. And people are accepting these Hindu teachings, but they are taking away the word Hindu. People are running down the idea of Iron Man and Ant-Man and all these different things. But these concepts are all rooted in your Hinduism. But just as in the time of Durgam, when a person can take your text, mash it up, and force feed you, the public, half-fed information, half-developed ideas and notations, then just as the child is a victim of watching whatever is on the different apps on the phone and getting carried away with these thoughts, and the mother and father potting cannot explain and help and guide, and they go far and they get distracted and really confused, and that ignorance causes them to go down different pathways, then knowledge is the answer. And when knowledge becomes the answer, when your relationship with this manifestation of the Prakriti, then things like the tendency to be attracted to the gambling, attracted to the banditry, to do the wrong, to handle a situation wrong, then those forms are under control. Tonight, I hope you understand that there is no devil in Hinduism. Good comes in other religion, good comes from God, bad comes from the devil. But in truth, this life is about choices. Gunas, when you hear the mode of the person, a person will go and play card for recreational purpose. Another person will gamble with the intention of making all the money so that they could achieve whatever purpose. And everything is powered by that Prakriti. Everything, believe it or not. She is more predominant in negative form now, Kali Yuga, and she was less predominant in Satyug. What we do, we are trying to propagate, we are trying to harness the goodness, the energy that will bring about purity, pure thoughts, good activity, health. So people do Gram Dev Puja or village puja or city puja or group puja, Panchauti Yagya. Protect all your children, dear goddess. Tonight, as we come to the end of chapter 2, as we have started to touch on the development of the Purusha, as he's expanding himself, as the Paramatma is making Brahma and Shiva and all that, we're getting set now. We are at the point where the egg is going to develop tomorrow night. To give you the preamble, get ready, that egg, the creative process. But now we are in space, we are seeing all the cosmos. We are not by you and I, where we are talking about learning and studying the books and the Saraswati and the Puja and the Bedi. No, our Devi is more than that. Tomorrow night we will talk about all the different universe. Why is Lord Vishnu lying on Sheshnag? Why is he sleeping? Why is he on the Milky Ocean or the waters? When Mastya comes as a fish and he has to save the earth from the waters. What is this water? The perspiration from the Prakriti, when male and female came together to create the egg that is going to come to form the creation, the creative process. A wonderful discourse. And I'm glad that God has given us the opportunity to be together, to learn. I'm sure there are things that, because it is very, very big concepts, and I understand that. But understand that I only have the little time that I have to teach, and I'm teaching with the intention that you would be able to absorb the beauty of this recorded method. You could rewind on it and play it back. So I invite you to do that. Soon this will be on the YouTube channel. Please subscribe, join, follow me on Facebook. Join me so that you will be able to benefit from these type of discourses. When we sit together, you have to learn. You have to learn. There's so much to learn about your Dharma. There's so much more to this Devi. There's so much more to your Kali, your Lakshmi, your Saraswati. And if you absorb, when you look in your life, you will see Mother in different ways. And you'll be able to understand, you'll be able to grow and manipulate that energy to manifest what you want in your life. But the first step, step one, get rid of ignorance. Get rid of not knowing the truth. Know the truth. Satyam, truthfulness is the key. Knowing that truth. What is the truth? That is the key to overcoming the unrighteousness that is dancing around you and I. Tonight, as I conclude, I hope you enjoyed your discourse. I hope I have intrigued you a little bit. I hope for all the people that are watching their different shows, I hope you start to watch and pay attention and see what is happening. And see your Hindu concepts that are surrounding you. It is so intriguing and attractive to the movie theaters, to the storybooks, to the characters, and you are learning, but I just wanted to make sure you're learning the correct thing. If you have your questions, please send them. If you want to send them on Facebook, fine. If some of you were sending them on WhatsApp, please send them, message me. Let's talk. In a typical satsang, I don't get to talk to people about, well, I never know this, Pandit. I never had, I always wondered about that. And I never get that. Please feel free. I am trying. And I don't know it all. And I am just reading a book. I'm not creating. I have no vision. I'm not a seer man. I have no insight. I'm not no Mahatma. I am just reading a book. God book. That's it. But if it is, as a teacher, I could explain, maybe use an example for you to get the concept of Prakriti, Mother, Purusha, Lord Vishnu, Paramatma, a little better. I am willing, only willing, so that you walk away knowing your God better. So that things like prejudice and, these type of separatist thoughts are not necessary. They're not there. Tomorrow night we'll be starting on time because I need to finish that discourse. It'll be our last night tomorrow. And for those of you messaging this morning asking me, so Pandit, you're doing nothing in person, Sunday morning, because of the Naomi finishing very early. Remember, very early on. Monday morning is the Naomi is closing very early. We are doing Sunday morning very early to catch the early morning hour. So I'm doing Durga Puja, simple Durga Puja on the Durga Ashtami day at the ashram. We're starting everything, let's say from 7 to 9 is the program. 7, Mommy, Baba, watch me. Puja, people want to sit for prayers, you're invited, just reach out to me. 6 o'clock. People are gathering with all their material. 6 o'clock in the morning, and we're coming together. We're going to sit together and do prayer. Reading and so on will happen after Kanyakumari Puja. Children are invited, older people are invited, everybody's invited. But I would just like it because I have to go and cook for everybody. Let me know. Please send me a message. Pandit, I'll see you there. Pandit, I want to come. Pandit, do you need flowers, need leaves, whatsoever? All material, I think I have it. Just, reach, come. Sometimes, because of course, to be honest, there may not be an avenue for me to do prayers. Pandit and the ashram is making it possible. Find yourself in the temple. Stop making excuses. You are welcome. But just as I said, because of I want to know how many people to cater for, just let me know if you're coming. You could send me a message. I am all too glad to have you. Everybody's welcome. I hope you are learning. I hope you are benefiting from the discourse. I understand I might need to go over. It's a lot. I understand that. But this is the truth. You are learning truth. And as I conclude tonight, let's say our prayer as we do final pratna before we go separate. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva sarvam mama deva tvameva sarvam mama deva. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Prem Sabro Mahapati Mahadeva ki Jai, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai, Vindravan Bihari Lal ki Jai, Pawana Putra Numana ki Jai, Shri Adi Shakti Mata ki Jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai, 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 Sitaram. Everybody till tomorrow night. God bless you, bless your home, bless your family. Keep good, be safe. For those of you on the job, be safe. Reach home safe. For those of you in different parts of the world, it may be daytime where you are. Have a good day. God bless you, and may Mother's choices blessings be with each and every person. Sit down, everybody. Until tomorrow. Bye bye.